Okay, let's call the meeting to order. Those that choose to do so, please join me for the pledge and invocation. Teresa, would you lead us in prayer, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Father, we come before you in the name of Jesus, and Father, we thank you and praise you for this day, and thank you for the ones that have joined us here in the building, and thank you for the ones that are viewing online. And Father, I just pray that you'll just give us wisdom and grace and knowledge in all things, and lead and guide and direct us, and help us to make the right decisions that will better the town. And Father, I just pray that you'll just keep your blessings and your hands upon us in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Debbie, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Okay,
Oh, absolutely.
welcome again, everyone. This is the regular council meeting for March. First item on the agenda is the regular meeting minutes from February 21st. Has everyone had a chance to review? And if so, do you have any changes, suggestions?
It looked pretty good to me.
Okay, hearing none, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, I have a motion. Mr. McGee, do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second. Councilperson Bass, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. And we'll let the record reflect the council is in full attendance. Next item on the agenda, under committee and department reports, is accounting. Roger?
All right, thank you. Yes, the report I'll be doing tonight is for the end of February. And to start with, on page 2 of the balance sheet, I'll read the account balances for the end of February. Checking account is $157,667. The Labor Day account is $3,714. Coal severance, $9,310. Special projects, which are in the BTI account, $90,264. Stabilization, which is also in the BTI, $228,895. Parks and Recreation, $13,547. Municipal Court, $24,778. Special Police, $16,914. Garbage and Sewer, $29,283. The ARPA funds, $81,070. Contributions, which are in the BTI account, $14,461. And the special projects, $254,718. Now, if you go back to page 1. The interim statement of revenues and expenditures for the month of February. The total revenues were $21,824 as compared to last year where they were right at $34,000. And for the year, they're almost $755,000, which is a little down from last year's $850,000. And on the next page, with the expenditures for the month were $93,476 compared to last year when they were $86,604. And for the year, with the special projects, $1.1 million, 50,000. With that, I'll entertain any questions.
Any questions of council? Okay. Looks good, Roger. We're going to go over the budget. If you want to hang around,
Sure.
Just if you see anything that's out of place, just let us know. But that's, I think, next item on the agenda.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, like I mentioned, next item on the agenda is the general fund 2023-24 budget and resolution. In your packet, I went ahead and prepared the budget, since I'm so used to doing so. The handout that begins with the green shaded proposed municipal budget, that illustrates what we have through February of 2023, which is what I used as the basis, being 2/3 through the fiscal year, to project the 6/30/2023 ending balances. Then in comparing that, I developed the what I would propose for or project for revenues for next year. As always, I tried to be conservative with the estimates for revenues. Saying so, I did not budget any anticipated building permit fees or anything of that nature relative to B&O taxes. I feel that, I'd rather have the bird in hand before we do so. So what you see are true and true projections based upon historical performance for next year. And if we are lucky enough to realize any added revenue, we can prepare a budget revision at that time. So that being said, my projection for next year, revenue-wise, would be $1.315 million, which is a $60,000 increase from last year. I utilize the Kanawha County Assessor's numbers for our property taxes, and with one caveat being that we may need to reduce those based upon any past legislation having to do with property tax on automobiles. I did project, though, that the impact is minimal with respect to individual owners of vehicles. I cannot project the business impact, but in Marmatt, I don't think that would be significant with business-owned vehicles either. So I feel pretty good about it. It may be a small adjustment that we have to make next July or August, but I don't believe that it will impact the budget substantially. Any questions on the revenues before we move on? Okay, page 2 begins the expenditures. All of the elected offices are practically the same. In fact, they are identical to last year, so I see no changes in the elected offices. City clerk, a small increase. We have, as you recall, we had some increases for our our one clerk and the office manager, so that's reflected about a $12,000 increase in total, including all taxes and wages for that department. Police judges budgeted separately. 8,359, I think, is an accurate number as opposed to 11,000 last year. We don't see that much in terms of any type of court proceedings that are litigated, so I think that accounts for some of the reduction. Beyond that, on page 3, beginning with the 001440 accounts, which is town hall, budgeted a little bit of a decrease. We had some one-time expenses this past or this current year that I don't foresee happening next year. Our primary, our largest cost is bonds and insurance, and we more or less know what that will be, around $80,000, which you'll see about a third of the way down the page, shaded in green. Budgeted a little more for other buildings, repairs, about $6,105 more, and that includes any of our other facilities, such as the rec building or anything of that nature, except for the sanitation plan, of course. Beyond that, 566 is Tommy's code. He's the only employee that's coded to 001566. He's doing a great job. He doesn't usually attend, but I think everybody will agree he's doing an excellent job.
Oh,
Been a big asset. Next page, we have PD. We're at about 408,000 and change. We'll take a look at all of the salary accounts here in a moment, but that budget's for the vacant police chief position as well, and includes our new code enforcement officer, which again, it's been a big plus. So we're able to do that even with a slightly reduced budget, but I feel that it is a fairly accurate budget. I see nothing to suggest that it should have been higher. Our PD department's watching their overtime real well, and we have a strategy that we may develop that might curtail that even further if we can hire quality part-time officers to work the holidays and weekends and such. So that may help us out even more. Fire department, I budgeted no change. Flipping the page then to the street department. Let's see. Health and sanitation, highways, 750 accounts. We had an increase there, and as you'll recall, we've adjusted the way that is structured now that we have a public services officer and a deputy public services officer in Jeremy. So that increase accounts for the increase, but too we've done away with some of the expenses that we had incurred in the past, and I think 230 is more than reasonable for the work that those guys do. Below that, we have the street lights. Substantial increase there because we well know that electricity took a bump for everyone, not just us. But street lights they draw quite a bit of electricity, so we budgeted, or I've suggested 25,200 for our street lights. Health and sanitation, garbage is below that. The Series 800 accounts. That as well reflects 40% of the that's 40% of the total cost for the combined departments of street and sanitation or garbage. So what you're seeing in the 162,599 is 40% of basically 40% of the total cost. The street department was 60%, and that's how we've, I guess, logically budgeted that 3 days versus 2 days of the week, basically. Culture and recreation, that would be the recreation building and our two part-time employees, 13,500 roughly. Takes into account all statutory benefits in addition to their wages. Budgeted, or I've suggested 15,000 for Labor Day, which is 001903. 3,600 for other contributions, which is our library. 3,600, and total then for all expenditures would be $1,315,558.76, which balances to our revenues. That being said, a couple of things to point out. As I mentioned with the revenues, I've not budgeted any anticipated revenues that likely will occur in the new fiscal year, nor have I budgeted any carryover from this fiscal year, which I believe there will be a fair amount, a significant amount, but I would prefer to wait and utilize our budget revision number 1 in July to reflect that and then allocate that where council chooses to do so. 2 items that we may want to address at that time would be salary increases and paving at that point. So that's those are 2 items. The increases in paving, I've not inserted into any existing line item, but rather would prefer to wait until we see what happens at the end of the year, and then what happens with any added revenues. So in a nutshell, that's a lot to digest, but That's my proposed budget. Beyond that, and I'll take some questions and discussion here in a second, but beyond that, I've detailed the various salary and wages and statutory benefits on the legal size sheets that should be in your packet. It's pretty self-explanatory, but those totals, they are forwarded directly into my budget on the Excel worksheet. So anything you see there would carry forward to the front budget. And so I'll stop there, and if you have any questions about the expenditures or any of the payroll items,
Have you taken into account or figured out the increase in PIA
No.
premium?
no, that's another wild card. I attended a meeting of the Municipal League this past Thursday, and unfortunately, I couldn't attend one of our events at the Family Care Health Center because of it, but it was valuable in that we learned that there will be an increase of about 15 to 20% likely for non-state entities, and they will probably come out with that calculation in April. So in real terms, that's about 18 to 24,000 for Marmet, which is substantial.
Yeah.
But no mention of any type of surcharge for spouses in the meeting. But so I don't know about that. But so there's going to be an increase, and unfortunately, they mentioned some benefit reduction as well, which is not good for our employees. But so next month we should have a lot more on that. But that too. That being said, I think that too can wait until a budget revision number one, because we should be able to cover that difference with carryover, I believe, at least.
Yep.
So.
By any chance, when you attended that PIA meeting, did they give us a time frame or something, if we weren't happy with it, if we wanted to, maybe possibly shop? Because I know, if we give up PIA,
We're
there's no
done.
going back.
Correct.
But if it
Yeah,
is
what
that
year is it?
terrible, I didn't know if there was
Well,
anything just for Plan B.
actually, there's a Plan C.
Okay.
And I mentioned this, who did I mention this to? I'm not sure. But we currently have a Plan A, correct?
Yes.
Okay. There's a Plan C that's available from PEI, and it's more or less a high deductible plan. If the city were to consider an HSA, whereby we would assist our employees with an annual deposit in their HSA account to cover, yearly annual expenses, that may be something to look at because the premium would be considerably reduced. So that's an option, It benefits those that are relatively healthy, you have to weigh the consequences, but
Well, there is a B too. as
there's a
well.
B, true. So we might look at something tiered, because we can participate in any of the three, or all three.
Oh, okay, that might even be an option too, and let the employees.
Yeah. And another
Well, then
thing,
they would, I would say, if they go above a certain one, they would have to,
Contribute.
oh, absolutely.
yeah, the difference.
Yeah, that's what I said, at least that we can, I didn't know if they'd give us a time frame to even look at options, or in the worst case scenario, they're insured. I didn't know if there was a deadline that we gotta say, this is what we're going to do.
No, but I believe to change in that respect, we'd have to wait until January 1st,
Oh, okay.
24.
Okay.
But also, if we were to withdraw from PEIA, there would probably be a charge for our
Okay.
retirees.
Oh, okay.
Because we're gonna have to make up, because those are, locked in.
Oh, okay.
And so we would probably owe them, probably an annual amount as well.
Yeah,
So,
then that's probably, that's what I said, I just wanted to kind of know all of our options, since
Yeah.
it's gonna be such a significant amount.
right. So, I would suggest we look at, a possible mixture, sort of a cafeteria plan, like we kind of moved toward with our supplementary insurances and things like that. And we could offer A, B, and C,
Okay.
but,
And then, and if there's anything that's gotta be contributed and stuff, then that way the employee's got the power to make that choice.
yeah. I think, though, there's really no reason for an employee to select anything other than A if we're paying 100%. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I said, if
Yeah.
it's that much, it may not be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, we'll just have to look at it, but healthcare, we all know it's quite expensive.
Yes, it is.
And we'll take some sort of hit here, but like I say, it should be 18 to 24 according to the municipal league.
Okay.
Any other questions? I did neglect to mention one thing. I've included, and it's part of the concept with our construction of our steel buildings. I've spoken to a few people, and it looks like it would behoove us to take care of as many processes and pieces of construction as we can. Legitimately deal with, not to put anyone at risk, but to do so would save us a tremendous amount of money, I believe. So in that vein, I've included in this, and we can remove it, but I've included $10,000 to hire what I'm going to call a consultant for construction purposes.
We talked about that, yeah.
Just to review the plans, make sure that everything proceeds as it should, step by step. Make sure that we're ready to proceed to step 2 of the project as far as, setting the beams or coordinating the subcontractors, like for the concrete, just scheduling. I think to have somebody, a project manager, would take a lot of pressure off of our street department, because this is something, bless them, they're not, I mean, they can do a lot, but, I think it's a lot to ask to coordinate a large project such as this, and, $10,000, I think would help to do that. And we could place an ad, and take interest for doing that, and just to monitor and be on site, make sure everything's proceeding, not any hands-on physical work, but just to manage the project, basically.
Okay.
Anybody, I mean, I know a number of you probably haven't heard about this idea, so do you have any comments about that? Or
Just listen to it. It makes sense, because you do a project like this, you don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable and get outside their comfort zone, get outside their scope a little bit. So as many experienced eyes as you can get on something like that, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, and just to ensure it's actually done right.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to miss anything, that's for sure. And, we spent too much. So, it's just a kind of a check and balance, make sure we're on the same page on everything. So that is included in the budget. So I appreciate everyone's consideration on that. Any other questions about the general fund budget or comments?
Looks good.
Okay, well, thanks. In that case, hearing none, do I have a motion to approve it? And once we have a motion and a second, we have a resolution, of course, to,
Yeah, we have to do individual, where's it? I make a motion.
okay, I have a motion.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. I can read the resolution, it's no problem. This is a resolution as a regular session of the Municipal Council held March 20th, 2023. The following order was made and entered. The approval of the levy estimate budget of the town of Marmet. The following resolution was offered. Resolved that, subject to approval of the state auditor as ex officio chief inspector of public offices, the municipal council does hereby direct the general fund budget of the municipality of Marmet for the fiscal year 2023-24 be approved as shown on the 2023-24 municipal levy estimate, a copy of which is entered as part of this record. The adoption of the foregoing resolution having been moved by Councilperson Skeens and duly seconded by Councilperson Bass. The vote thereon was as follows. Councilperson Armentrout.
Yes.
Councilperson Bass.
Yes.
Councilperson Long.
Yes.
Councilperson Skeens.
Yes.
Councilperson McGee.
Yes.
Recorder Fontalbert.
Yes.
Mayor Fontalbert, yes. Whereupon the mayor declared said resolution duly adopted, and it is therefore adjudged and ordered that said resolution be, and the same is hereby adopted, as so stated above, and the recorder is authorized to fix her signature on the attached municipal levy estimate to be sent to the state auditor for approval. I'll go ahead and sign. So the motion carried. Next is consideration and approval of the 2023-24 budget for Cole Severance. Yeah, thank you. I would suggest the same budget as last year, $5,000 for Cole Severance in general. Do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
I have a motion for Councilperson McGee. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second from Councilperson Long. I'll read this as well. The regular session of the Municipal Council held March 20th, 2023. Following order was made and entered, subject to approval of the levy estimate budget of the town of Marmet. Following resolution was offered, resolved, that subject to the approval of the state auditor as ex officio chief inspector of public offices, the Municipal Council does hereby direct the Cole Severance Fund budget of the municipality of Marmet for the fiscal year 2023-24 be approved as shown on the 2023-24 municipal levy estimate, a copy of which is entered as part of this record. The adoption of the foregoing resolution having been moved by Councilperson McGee, duly seconded by Councilperson Long. The vote thereon was as follows. Councilperson Arbuthnot.
Yes.
Councilperson Bass.
Yes.
Councilperson Long.
Yes.
Councilperson Skeens.
Yes.
Councilperson McGee.
Yes.
Recorder Fontalbert.
Yes.
Mayor Fontalbert, yes. Whereupon the mayor declared said resolution duly adopted, and it is therefore adjudged in order that said resolution be, and the same is, hereby adopted as so stated above. And the recorder is authorized to fix her signature on the attached municipal levy estimate to be sent to the state auditor for approval. I'll sign that one as well. And what I'll do, I'll transfer the approved budget on the handout to the official document for the state auditor, and then forward that to the recorder for her signature. And we should be good to go. Yeah, the second Tuesday in April, or third Tuesday in April, we'll have the levy approval, which is out of sequence, but that's the code. So we'll meet to do that as normal. Thanks, Rod. Next item on the agenda is a discussion of B&O tax credits. Councilperson Long.
Yeah, this was kind of briefly brought up at the last finance meeting, and I guess, for lack of a better term, we have some businesses that don't have their business license, or we may have some businesses that's not actually paying their B&O tax and other problems, and I was wanting just to bring a discussion before council, some possible solutions for some of this.
I'll get on it. Everything's, I've been kind of overwhelmed, but I will go through and do an audit of that, and then we can send out, because I'll send it out with the next the next quarter. What is in June? No, it's it's coming up, isn't it?
Yeah,
Right, March 31st.
Yeah.
We'll send that out, and then we'll send out a thing saying you need to do this, and then if they don't comply, then we'll go from there.
Oh, okay then, because I wasn't quite sure how it really was to be handled, so that's why I put it on here, and, because, I even asked Danny, he said, yeah, we can discuss it or whatever, so.
Yeah, it gets to the point if they don't get a license after they've been told, we can shut them down.
Okay, and so for the compliance, is that something, I don't know, just asking, like I said, is it the police department, is it code enforcement, or who actually, what's going to be the process, or?
I've gone before, and I've had one of the officers go with me.
Gotcha, okay.
In the past, our former chief, Brian would go and do that.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'll have to work on how we'll go about doing that, but
Oh, okay.
some of them's going to get interesting.
Yeah, well, I can understand it, but no, I just wanted just to, like I said, just kind of bring it up for discussion, because I didn't know what the process was be, if we was going to need to do some kind of ordinance, just
No.
whatever, I just wanted just to bring it up, just to, okay, how can we fix this?
And I've got a list of the businesses that I'll forward to you.
Okay.
But, and I'm in the process of getting listed, all the rental properties. So the landlords are subject to the B&O tax as well, of course. So I'll get that to you as soon as I.
That's why I was wondering how to get a copy of all the
Mhm.
license and,
Yeah, yeah. I've got the first, but I'm working on the second.
okay.
So. Okay. Any other discussion on B&O tax audit?
Yep.
Okay. Next is discussion regarding the federally congressionally directed grants. This will be brief. I've submitted eight grant applications to Senators Manchin and Capito and Congresswoman Miller. You know, those will be decided competitively and probably no results until August, maybe September, when the budget has to be completed, the federal budget. And of course, those were discussed and approved at our last meeting, you know, the purposes. Brian and I today met with Tyler Orrin from Congresswoman Miller's office, and Brian can add here in a moment, but I was very encouraged, you know, from what he told me. He was impressed with, you know, what we have in the town. We toured the plant, the sanitation plant, 98th Street, 85th Street, the transfer station, and then Clark Drive, where it's been suggested we need to replace the bridge. So, like I say, I think it was very encouraging. He did let us know that the Congresswoman has 15, she has to submit, or she doesn't have to, but she can submit up to 15 projects for funding. And I think she's received over 180. So
Wow.
if we are lucky enough to get one of those in for infrastructure, you know, I'd be very appreciative of that. So in a moment, we can let, you know, Brian add anything to that. But like I say, it was a good visit. Next, any other discussion on that topic? Okay. Oh, and I've also submitted one to T-Mobile for a community grant of $50,000 for the roof and or floor at the rec building, and I feel pretty good about that one too. So we'll see. They make 25 awards of that amount every year, so keep our fingers crossed. Next is a discussion and ordinance regarding placing the soccer field property up for auction. This time, Scott, I'd like to, for someone to make a motion for executive session because it is permitted to discuss the sale or purchase of real property.
You wanna do it now, or you wanna wait until we get through?
Well, we can wait, but my only thing was, I wouldn't want anybody to wait around for any type of actual vote on this topic, you know what I
I
mean?
was just, you know,
It's up to council though, if you would wanna wait till the end.
I mean, we can go
I don't care,
ahead.
you're the boss.
Well,
Yeah,
no, I mean,
yeah,
Whatever you wanna do.
Yeah.
Brian has
Go
something
ahead,
to
go
say.
ahead.
Right.
okay,
So you-
so,
We'll roll any way you want.
yeah, let's have a motion to.
Make a motion, we go to executive session.
Okay, I have a
I'll
motion,
second
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. It shouldn't take too long, folks. Sorry about it. Yeah, if you'd stay. Yeah. Is it okay if Brian stays?
Yeah,
I'm good with it.
Sure.
You good? You know what's going on over there? A little bit. A little bit.
Yeah. Rich is like, oh, okay.
Sorry, Rich.
Sitting there thinking,
So I say, this is gonna be interesting.
Should I stay?
We're out of secret squirrel.
Yes.
I know. I know.
Okay, we're back in regular session. No votes were taken, no decisions were made in executive session. Next item on the agenda is a discussion and ordinance regarding the placing of the soccer field property up for auction. The plan here is to have an ordinance to place the property across the street that we had previously considered for our public safety annex up for public auction on the steps, in quotes, of Town Hall in the near future. Any discussion? Do I have a motion then to place that property in public auction?
Debbie makes a motion.
Okay, a motion, Councilperson Skeens. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second, Councilperson Long. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion
Who
carries.
got it? Who beat it?
Skeens and Long.
Skeens and Long.
Debbie.
Okay, and what we'll do, we'll advertise this for 2 weeks, and one day for 2 successive weeks in the Charleston newspapers, as well as on the front door of the town hall. And then we'll have a public auction should this pass second reading. Next is an update regarding used equipment auctions. Do you still have what you need, or?
I'll talk to, Chuck, he's gonna get me he's gonna email me the stuff. Yeah, and whatever.
Bruce already got ours.
Oh, I could. I did. If I'd had it while I was at the beach, I could start posting. So, I can start posting it. Now you got all the pictures, everything. I can start posting it. I'll tell Ruth to send it to me or give it to me, and I can start posting tomorrow.
Okay, and both of you, did that include what you have a minimum reserve on each?
Yeah. Did you put it on there?
No, but, the reason why I did, remember, trying to scrap price,
Oh, yeah, okay.
because I'm gonna make sure that the minimum bid is more than scrap price, or we'll scrap it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
just leave
Did
it
you
in
put a
money.
minimum? Okay.
That works.
I'll
Okay.
scrap it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, hopefully Kelly Blue Book is still wanting scrap, maybe.
And I don't know if you were out when this was
Yeah.
brought up,
Oh,
but
okay.
we need to post for a project manager for our garage. Still
Oh,
good?
I heard you talking about, but, yeah, I knew we talked about it,
Okay.
but we need to post for
Yeah,
that.
please. Next item is an update regarding Town of Marmet website. Really, this is you.
The website is up and it's live. We're working on it. People can get on it. It's works really good. We're in the process of getting all of us in the email address.
Cool.
And well, we had the forms on there, and then I thought I was fixing something, and they disappeared. But that's okay. They're still somewhere on the thing. But eventually we'll be able to get it. We're working on their part where we'll be able to actually have forms filled out online. And this initial part I'm helping a lot, but I'm going to get it to the point that Ruth and Tracy and Chuck and everybody takes it over, and I'm just dealing with the minutes and stuff like that on it, because they're the ones that are going to be dealing with it day by day. But it's getting there. It's easy. Well, it's not easy, but it's not hard. It's just getting getting the rhythm of it and not deleting stuff. But
So basically, what you're saying is you're making progress.
yeah,
Okay.
I'll
with
be
you.
making a lot more progress if I can hit some back buttons and get those forms back where they're supposed to be.
I believe in you.
You're gonna be posting vacancies on there for, our town?
Yeah, I can
Okay.
do that.
And
beans.
like for our auction and,
Yes, I can. I can
Okay.
actually do it.
okay, cool. And the code, the town code's already there, right? The ordinances?
Yeah, we got the link to where we got them on Walter Drain
Cool.
on the online. Yeah, the link's there.
Good deal. Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay. Next item is a police department update. Lieutenant Buttrick.
Good evening, everyone. Our 911 CAD number since the last meeting has dropped a little bit. We're at 87, which is really a good thing for us. Those numbers consist of 11 complaints, 12 disturbances, a combined number of 7 suspicious activity with suspicious person with suspicious vehicles. We do have 1 significant incident to report. We did work a strong armed robbery, which is no threat to the public. It was a domestic issue. So that was taken care of today in court. I spent some hours down there today taking care of that. As far as our numbers go, that's about it. As far as operational, I'm personally working on the policy and procedures manual. I've got 2 or 3 items already fixed on that I will present to council for approval. I'm in the process of upgrading our body cameras to be a better camera than what we have now. And speaking of cameras, I did get 3 of the 4 approved dash cameras in the vehicles. 1 camera malfunctioned, and we need to send it back. But I've got 3 of them up and running. The program works really well. If any of you guys would like to see how it works, come see me, and I can give you a little demo back in the office. Over the last time since we met, I've done a little public service announcement at the Kanawha County Schools at Moorhead Elementary about child safety seatbelts and the proper use of them. I had a few complaints. There was some kids not in seatbelts when they left the property. And I think that little PSA has changed people's minds. They're all buckled up now safely. Brian, I got a phone call from a family member that the Totten Bridge Memorial sign was torn down off the turnpike. You know who we could contact for that? On the bridge over 85th Street. It's I forget the first name. It's a Totten Memorial Bridge sign that was torn down. Other than the State Department of Highways. Maybe y'all have noticed we have restriped our K9 truck, and it now says code enforcement. We've taken the police tags off of it and disabled all the blue lights on it.
Yes,
That is not a police vehicle anymore. It's actually a code enforcement vehicle.
it's actually been down my street.
Yeah, we try to get down all the streets, and sometimes we can, sometimes we can't. That's about all I have. I can bring Brian up for his report. If you guys got any questions for us, for me?
Any questions?
No, I was just gonna ask you, like, the new equipment, like the dash cams, all the officers familiar with that? Have they got familiar with it and everything?
Yeah, basically, there's no buttons. It's just there. We don't have to
Okay.
turn them on for traffic stops. It actually plugs into the computer port underneath the dash, and it just, as soon as you plug it in, it powers on.
Okay, good deal.
And it's always running.
Good
It is
deal.
always running. It's a constant feed, front and rear cameras. Even when it's parked, it's got motion sensor on it.
That's good protection, man.
That's great.
Good
Picks up
protection.
both cameras.
And it was on all vehicles, am I right? All
I have
police
one that doesn't have it in there because the camera malfunctioned.
Yeah,
I'm
but
trying to
we're
replace
getting it on all of
Oh,
them.
absolutely.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All
Good deal.
duties.
And like I said, if anybody wants to take a look at the program, come see me and I'll walk you through it.
Yeah, and honestly, I think we should get one for the Packer truck as well. You know, I mean, I've taken a look. Y'all should check that out because it's really impressive. So, and it's just good protection. You know, if we have accidents, I mean, there's no more he said, she said type thing.
Mhm.
It's on film.
Yeah.
That's right.
So.
And it does, I mean, it is not only a camera, it does function as a GPS, a live GPS tracker. It does function as if it's plugged into the computer port where it should be. It gives me codes for, like, on his vehicle the other day, he threw a check engine light and it was some kind of sensor. I got an alert email on that immediately. So it's gonna have it'll have good properties to it. It actually even gives the ambient air temperature outside the vehicle.
You said that if a light comes on, it tells you what's the problem, right?
Yeah, it'll send me an email to tell me what the check engine light's for.
Yeah, that's what, yeah. I thought that was so cool.
That's neat.
Good deal.
So, any questions for the police department?
Yeah,
Not
I
yet.
appreciate
Okay,
that.
I will, Brian, want to give you a report?
Thank you, Chuck.
I watch that camera too much in my truck. I pick my nose. Just want to let y'all know. At least I gave you a heads up, right? I mean, no.
And so much for. Okay. Go ahead.
We'll go ahead and address that. I did speak to you after the incident. You actually pulled into, and discussed it with me.
And the other one there, on my complaint form, did you see
Yeah,
two other claimants, claims against,
yeah.
you never did grassland. And this guy here, from the day you left, he never followed up, nothing.
Okay, but let me ask you a question. Was you there when I talked to them?
I was over you, I came here.
You wasn't there at that time, okay?
Right.
I understand you're upset.
With cats.
Okay, the cats are a very hard thing for us to catch, okay? You know that, you've been trying to catch them, right?
Yeah, but I camped when that boy feet his, and he told everybody he put them up, but they're living in the car. Nobody knows they follow right up.
Oh, yeah, I was up there,
But they're living it every night.
yeah,
Let me tell you why, 'cause I'm family.
yeah.
That's one thing.
Hey, Brian?
Yep.
Maybe we can take this offline, if it's okay after the meeting or something. Okay.
The camper on Ohio Avenue, it was addressed. It has been removed from the roadway. There was 3 trash complaints, 312 99th Street. They're making progress. They're trying to clean up their property. They've contacted me several times. I try to work with everybody if, as long as they contact me. There was 4 tents behind Hardee's. I don't know if anybody noticed that or not. But in the International Property Maintenance Code, you cannot live in a tent permanently. It's not a habitable structure.
Right.
There was 4 tents. 2 of them left immediately once me and Chuck went down there. Then there's 2 of them that actually just moved on up Lynn's Creek there in the bottom. So I went to see them today. They were not in the tents. What happens is, and if you ride behind Hardee's, you'll see it, they leave a mess. And, unfortunately, people live like that. I'm sorry, and I understand, but we have ordinances to follow. So I've been addressing that a lot here lately, trying to get that place cleaned up. At 8123 Maryland Avenue, I had a tent that was full of trash. It was in Car Wash Alley. I went and talked to the owners of the property, and they actually told me there was a lady living in the tent. The tent looked like trash. That's all it looked like. And she had been living there for 2 years. Yeah. So I addressed the issue. They are working on cleaning up the trash. The lady has moved out of the tent at this time. So far, I've caught 5 dogs. 3 of them went to the shelter. 2 of them went back to their owner. I'm sure you
Yeah,
follow
we all know.
Facebook.
We all know which dogs they are.
Yeah, so I explained to the owners, the issue that the steps that we could take to stop this situation of their dogs running loose. I put out 3 door tags for furniture that was unwrapped. All 3 of them have complied, so they've got their furniture wrapped. Contacted Town Hall, paid for it, and had it hauled off. Or they hauled it off themselves, I don't know. But they're not there anymore. At 8801 Ohio Avenue, there was a boat on the street. That boat's been removed. Then at 9003 Florida Avenue, Miss Harless, we've discussed it. I'm working with her to try to find a group that can come in and help her get this property cleaned up. Because she wants to do it, she's willing to do it, but she's not able to do it. So give me a little bit of time on that one. I'm trying to find some groups to maybe come in and help her get that cleaned up. So,
I'm gonna get with him after.
then there was one thing that I wanted to bring to your all's attention. Right now, on the door hangers and for my letters, it has a 10-day grace period. My personal opinion, I think 10 days is too much.
I agree.
Would it be okay for us to change it down to 5 days for people to get their stuff cleaned up? I just wanted your all's opinion on it. So if I take, and give somebody a letter, it states on there that it has 10 days to clean up the property. So I'd like to see it go down to 5 days so that we can get some things rolling a little quicker too.
I mean, you put 5 days in
That's
it.
what I was gonna say, is that legal to
It
do?
might be required by the law that they notice state statute. I'd have to take a look at it.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
can look at it while I'm sitting here, see if I can find it, but I think that 10-day notice is, part of it.
Okay.
Not positive,
Okay.
Yeah, I was
That's
going-
why I wanted to bring it up.
Otherwise, what you say makes sense. but,
Yeah. And that's why I wanted to bring it up here.
Yeah, that was my next question. Do we have it in an ordinance or anything anywhere either, so.
But right now, that's all I have.
Okay.
Okay, any questions of Brian? All right, thanks, Brian,
All
appreciate
right,
it.
thank you.
Next is a discussion regarding a convenience fee for held animals. Councilperson Long.
Yeah, it's one of those discussions that kind of, we hit upon it at the finance meeting and stuff, and, we were, discussing, because now where, Brian is starting to pick up animals and stuff, if we have to hold them over or anything, do you think there's anything that we need to charge, or, any kind of process, anything that needs to be put in any kind of documentation, ordinance, whatever, or, cause I think Brian even talked about it a little bit too, didn't he, Dave? Yeah, so that's why I was bringing it up for discussion
This
for
is-
us.
This is that discussion that we talked about where, like, the first time we pick them up, $25 hold, second time 50, 75, and then if you gotta pick them up again, they're going to the pound. It's kinda like, you wanna show them that you're,
Yeah, so that's why
Trying
I
to
was
be
bringing up
forced with it.
discussion to get people's thoughts or what we should do.
times is too many.
I do.
Yeah. Well, he already took some to the pound, so
right,
to me, if
Well, I don't have no problem with him taking them to the pound, but especially if we gotta hold them over, if for some reason the pound's not open, it's on a weekend or something, cause I mean, they're gonna need to be fed and still cared for, whatever, and we're inquiring a fee with that as well. So, yeah, I mean, no.
oh, I
three-
see what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think it should be 3 tries and then they go to the pound, so I mean,
First time $25, second time they out of there.
yeah.
well, if you gotta hold them, like, say you catch them on a Friday evening, pound's closed on Saturday and Sunday, you gotta hold them all weekend. You have to
Pound's
come
not
up-
closed on Saturday and Sunday, is it?
I
I think it has limited hours.
Yeah, I think it's only open like 3 hours or something.
Yeah, and then of course it's closed like on Sunday and
Right.
stuff, so, and of course,
Well,
and,
where we have he's gonna get the animal humane officer thing, he might be able to, with that, be able to call and, go ahead and get it processed.
Yeah.
Where it's not open to the public, but he could take it in and get it processed. Right.
okay.
You tell me that he can come against any animal you don't know.
Oh,
If you contact it to him.
Oh, he could.
That's what I've been dealing with this range. We were talking about Saturday issues and building that big apartment complex on the hill for them, all the 25 cats. And I've been working with him. And it's the only thing the town's got to do. He said he's just slow it down. He brought me the cages to catch these cats. And I've been working with him.
But now, does he work on Saturday and Sunday?
Well, I don't know about that. He'll come and get these animals.
yeah,
I keep on me calling at 8 o'clock. I call him and so far, he's been straight up there. He got the cat
good.
and no problem. But, what the issue is, Maynard, that is his cat's personal. That he will not put up, and I done called him 4 or 5 times. And the man come up there, he said, don't talk to me no more. Call me, I'll come and get you.
That's right.
So I it's costing me cat food, before they get in that cage, you know,
Yeah.
I've been buying cat food, also, I think like 12 cats, and they, I'm telling you, it's great.
Yeah, they're mean, yeah. Yeah, 'cause
bad.
they're feral, yeah.
Yeah, 12 of them right there, Jean's old house.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Jean and Kim's are feeding them,
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a hard time getting them.
Yeah. Does Mr. Anderson work for like the Humane
Yeah,
Society?
he works for the
But he,
Canal Charleston.
Okay. I'll call him and I'll ask him about the weekend situation and that kind of stuff too.
no, I didn't have no trouble, I've been calling him, helping him out.
Okay.
But I don't think they'll let us just drop them off there, though.
No, I mean,
I think-
somebody's gonna have to be there to
Yeah,
process.
yeah.
That's why, I'll go ahead and call him and I'll ask him questions about if there's anything after hours and that kind of thing. Cause then maybe it might kind of help gauge us, cause if we end up having to keep him over a weekend or
Well, the
something.
one you really call him is Brian, that way he can get all the information. I mean, I'm not saying you
Yeah,
can't,
boss.
but, it
Right.
would make more sense for Brian to call him so that,
They reach out to me, cages, like when I got
Mm-hmm.
Cooper, he gives me more cages,
Yeah.
brings mine, brings it back. Cause he's the one furnishing the cages.
Right.
That's good.
I wouldn't tell you you couldn't call him, but just that way Brian could go ahead and get the information and stuff, that's all I'm saying.
We can
Yeah.
do
They could
agreement on
discuss
something.
it, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
One time.
Anything else on the convenience fee? We'd need an ordinance for that, right?
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe next agenda?
Yeah,
Okay.
once we got all of our info together, like I said, just kind of like get a discussion started.
I got 50 and then plant.
Okay.
But you're not gonna take care of your animals.
And my next one down there was kind of like a discussion that kind of ties in with your alls too, so.
Yeah. Good deal. Yeah, next, infrastructure, Brian? Your leg bothering you?
Yeah, a little bit. If I sit too long, it cramps up.
It's old age.
Yeah, the Yankee line.
Yeah,
Evening,
got-
Mayor,
yeah.
evening, council members. I appreciate everything you do for us and the town. I just got a few things here. I mean, pretty much everything is on the agenda item here, so I'll just stay here whenever we go down. But some of the stuff that's not on there, well, first off, let me get the trucks and everything squared away. They're all up and running finally. Everything's working, everything's good with it, maintenance done, everything. And I think Dave said something about the Rush Creek down there earlier. We've really been cleaning up down there. I don't know if anybody's noticed or not, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and give us another 2 weeks and it'll be leveled. So we'll get that taken care of. And the 98th Street project, we're actually we finally got that big tank out of the ground up there, and we had Bethesda come in and resurvey to get us our depth of our drop inlets, so we can get them ordered. And as soon as I get the drawings for it, it'll be 2 weeks, to get them built, and then after that, that project will be done. So hopefully within the next 3-4 weeks, that's gonna be done. Hopefully, if they come through with the drop inlets. So, but other than that, I mean, as far as the pipe and everything, it's already in stock and waiting on us. So, I mean, other than that, I don't know if you guys have got anything for me. I mean, we've been bouncing around doing a lot of things there, but we're trying our best.
Yeah, we know you've been a busy little bee.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I was gonna say. I appreciate the work, cause I know just outside of trash, you're bouncing 98th Street, you're down there at Rush Creek, clearing all that out. And
Yeah.
they sent me some pics. That's looking good.
Lot going
I know you
on.
got a lot of things in the hopper, so I
Yeah.
appreciate the work.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yep, sounds good. Okay,
Uh,
so you wanna hang around for the next?
Yeah, I'll just hang out because I'm sure when we get down here, there's gonna be a few things I'll have to.
Okay, I think, let's see, looking at, the list from our, engineering firm, you cover the 98th Street. On the garage foundation, they're revising their proposal, to take soil samples and they'll need to put together the concrete, drawings for the garage, at Rush Creek. Transfer station, that's also part of their scope for Bethesda. So they're studying that, and they'll have recommendations. But again, that, I think we really made headway with Congresswoman Miller's person on that, because it's evident with, and I really wanted someone from her office to look at it because you can see the collapse, imminent collapse, and the danger to our, staff and also the, the condition, safety for our vehicles, everything else, not to mention the DEP fines, for which we've already received a letter years ago now. But anyway, so that's it.
Let me, I did forget about something. I
Okay.
forgot about that too.
Okay.
But we did have a DEP inspection, 2 weeks ago, I think it was.
I think so.
Yeah, Christina Witt came up with DEP and, she did an inspection of our transfer station. And, she was talking about, how much better it's looked than it has before. She said it's never looked as good as it did now. I mean, even as bad as it is, but yeah, I think we're going in, and I told her our plans for what's going on down here. So she's on board and she noted it. So I think that'll buy us a little bit of time to keep them off of us.
Oh, well, good, okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's not going to buy us years, but it'll
No,
buy
no.
us some time. Yeah.
Yeah, we've came far from where we was.
Yeah.
Okay, well, with that being said, next item is a discussion regarding garbage billing changes. That plus the next two, the bag and weight limit and trash and unpaid bills kind of all goes together.
Yeah, they do.
All of us together on that one. What's, as far as bag limitation and requirements for multi-unit housing was my biggest concern, with the larger apartment complexes. I think we should require a dumpster, for those. Whatever scope you would like to set, 3 or 4 units, but I think we need to do that for sure. And honestly, looking at the budget that was prepared, we're not even close to covering our costs with our garbage billing. So,
Right,
I mean, hate to think about it because of everything's going up,
right.
but ours have not. We're expected to do provide the same level of services while everything else is just increasing exponentially, including waste management.
You
I
probably
mean, it's,
provide better service if you run back to the same residence on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Repeated visits to the house, you don't get that anywhere else.
true.
No.
Yeah.
And picking up the stuff that, normally, if it's not that big, you just go ahead and pick it up.
Right.
That wouldn't happen with like other
Right.
places.
Yeah, exactly. So that was my take on it. BJ, you had the bags and weight limit.
Yeah. Yeah, we got several residents and, they get these big, I don't know how big.
Contractor bags.
I don't know where in the world they get them at, but they're huge. I mean, we ain't got none that big. But yeah, they'll fill them things up and then they'll drag them out to the curb. And then when we lift them up, they bust out.
Oh,
Yeah. And then we get, we get fussed at for not picking up all the trash that's on the ground. And, and we just don't have time to do that.
No,
You
and
know,
that's not really fair.
Yeah, and and in the bag limits the same way. You got some residents here in town. I ain't gonna say no names, but you got one person living somewhere, and they got 40 bags of trash.
that's not all theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So-
Some of them are letting, well,
Yeah.
yeah, we won't discuss that,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But anyway, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it's not all
just
theirs, yeah.
and like Dave said, I mean, we're not covering it. I mean, we're going in the hole on trash.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And it would be easy to limit the amount of bags, but now, do you have way of weighing bags or?
No.
If it takes a two-man lift, it's too heavy.
Yeah.
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 You'd almost have to put it, if it's too heavy, it stays there.
Yeah.
And then Brian could go around and,
Well, that's
talk
some,
to 'em.
yeah,
talk
Yeah.
to them about it.
Yeah.
And, cite them if they keep doing that.
yeah,
I mean, I don't know
Brian,
what else you did do, cause you can't weigh it.
Right.
yeah, Brian kinda mentioned that at the finance meeting.
Yeah, and then that's the thing, like I said, I mean, they make them so heavy, and then they'll drag them out, and then as soon as we grab hold of them, they just scatter everywhere.
bottom out of
Yeah, and then it's our fault.
As much as it is hurting an employee's back,
Yeah.
Exactly.
now you don't crash off labor, say, the bag out that heavy.
Do we
Right.
bill them for the medical costs?
That's a safety issue for our staff.
Right.
Did you all put a lift on the back to help dump trash
we did talk about, but we never did it, because it was more for dumpsters.
Yeah.
It might be time to start thinking about making everybody get those cans and using the thingy. You know, the thingy, that's technical talk.
That's an expensive attachment, just
We,
FYI.
we've discussed making them get dumpsters before. We just
Oh, no,
never
no,
have
I'm not
done it.
talking about dumpsters.
I know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
where they drive up and it hooks up and dumps
Yeah.
in, yeah. But we talked about dumpsters before.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
we
we
need
need
to
to
make
just
that
do
happen.
it. Yeah, we just need to do it.
I don't know what we gotta do to make it happen, but we
You
need to
gotta
make
make
it
an
happen.
ordinance, make an ordinance.
Yeah,
Well,
we
then-
did that, yeah.
Well, then that's what we need to do.
I put it in there.
Yep, I can draft that ordinance, they're out
Okay.
there.
Draft it.
More than 4 units, or, which the quadplex are bigger, must get.
Definitely
commercial,
for this one right here on
pickup,
McCorkle.
Or whatever, I think we've really got one big apartment,
No, we got two,
too.
at least two,
Three?
Three.
three,
It's
yeah.
Either 3 or 4.
So what
Yeah.
about, are they quadplex?
That's 6.
Uh,
One was 6, I
I
know.
know,
McCorkle has what, 6 or 8?
yeah. The
Yeah.
one at Maryland's got, what?
Six.
There's at least
Six.
6 there.
Yeah, there's 6 there, that's 2.
Isn't
Yeah.
there 6 on 97th or 8th?
Yep.
What's the number you want? Anything?
I'd
more
say
than
6.
Anything more than 4.
Anything
Yeah,
more than 4.
anything
Are we
more than
doing 4? Okay.
Yeah,
I
'cause
think
I-
more than 4, 5 or.
Yeah, I know we got a couple houses that have like 4 apartments in them.
Anything more than 4?
Oh, we're talking about apartments. I was on bad count. Sorry. I lost it right there.
But you gotta think, you have
Thank you.
95th Street, I don't know if there's anybody living in those, but
Right.
you got
Yeah.
those on the front and the back side of those.
Yeah.
What was, I missed that. They're talking about apartments, Brian's on bag.
Yeah. Yeah, I was totally out there.
But
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I, myself,
Old age.
but if
Yeah.
everybody else is happy with it, I'm happy with 4 or more.
Yep,
If
that sounds good.
everybody in town's billed for the rest, there'd be no benefit to drag somebody else's house. So does that mean there's people not being billed, or is it coming from another?
A little
It
bit
comes
of
from
both.
another
somewhere
community.
else.
There's both.
Oh, okay.
Now, I
That-
do know, I drive to Boone County back every day.
Yeah.
And every Monday, I've seen this same car, the trunk open, loaded with trash bags, and they're coming here tomorrow morning.
And they are because
And
somebody
get
I
a
got
drive
license
to
plate on that
Falls,
car?
I've gotta go get my little one to get her in school, and that's gonna throw me late. If there is somebody from Hernshaw bringing their trash here tomorrow morning,
Well, we need a license plate number on that sucker.
Well,
They
see,
bring them from Winterford too.
yeah, well, Boone County does have a 6-bag limit. If they got over 6 bags,
I
they're
don't know.
charged.
That's what I'm saying.
So
We'll have
there is
to-
people bringing them down and,
I say
and putting
4
them in,
bags.
you know,
I don't know,
whoever's
that's getting a
trash.
little,
What?
4 bags, that's a little, I don't,
6, I think
Yeah,
would be.
6.
well, I think like
4
waste-
apartments and 6 bags.
waste management's like 7.
It's 6
Six.
bags
Six.
and
Oh,
anything
there's
over,
a 6?
Yeah,
anything
there's a
over
6.
6 is $1 a bag.
More than 6, yeah.
Yeah, that's why we're ending up.
Okay,
with-
then do 7, so we're better than them.
So then what they'll do is they'll put 6 bags here, and then they'll put 6 bags here, and then they'll put 6 bags here. And it's
No.
still all the same thing. It's all coming from the same house.
Yeah, but we know, we've done it enough to know where they come from.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Or it might
But
be a good
if you-
idea to start requiring them to get trash cans anyway.
And another thing too,
Yeah.
you got the camera on the Packard will take care of that.
Yep,
That's true.
sure will.
Oh, wow.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Protection.
technology.
Okay, and then trash and unpaid bills.
Mm-hmm.
There are those, what do we want? Anything owed over 50 or?
I've looked at them, the ones that are like 50, those are the ones that usually get caught up. It's anything over 200 and above is where it gets, and, I mean, we have some in the,
Thousands.
thousands,
Geez, well,
literally. I think a lot of those are people that have, and here's the thing, they're all, those are rentals.
yeah.
The- the-
They don't pay anyway, because they were told they didn't have to pay.
But they'll find out when, I mean,
Well, now Brian, he referenced an ordinance in Montgomery that we can tie
Right.
that to the landlord, and I think we should do that.
Yeah, and then, of course, said he had a process, what they do in Montgomery is if someone doesn't pay their trash bill,
he comes and pays him a visit.
Yeah. I'll have him send that to you, Scott, so you can check it out. But,
What
I mean,
is it?
it's an ordinance that Montgomery has evidently that, requires the landlord to make good on trash bills.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but didn't he say that if they didn't pay, then they didn't pick up those units?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's no place I know that does that. Because that's got cities in trouble before, because
Right.
Francis, David, BJ pay their trash bill, and then Becca doesn't. And then her trash is piled up, and you pay yours, you're gonna let a health minister peril the entire neighborhood
Yeah.
because
Right.
she doesn't pick up. That's usually not the answer. The answer is pick the trash up, sue her for it, and put a lien on the property.
yeah.
It's normally the answer, not leave it there to say, we're not taking your, because it's impacting the neighbor.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, because mice, cockroaches, rats,
Right.
all that stuff.
Did we
Oh, I
survey
know, I
that?
understand.
So it's a
I
health
just remember him
minister
saying
created.
that.
Can we require, landlords to be the ones that pay it and they just
Absolutely.
put the
Yeah.
charge onto their?
Absolutely.
That's it. There would be an argument on that, but by and
What-
large, everybody does. They do it in Huntington, they probably do it in Charles.
Well, I didn't know if
So
we
what
could
you do is
require
you-
that.
Yeah, it's under your, the city's,
The Moormeadow Apartments does it.
the broad authority that the city has to say, you collect it, you're best suited to get it from your tenants,
Right.
you give it to us. And that, most ordinances that I know of are drafted that way to make it ultimate.
Cause they just, put it onto,
David,
I'm surprised
did
all
we
that doesn't
come up
say
with a
that.
six-pack?
I know, I was kinda surprised too. 'Cause I
Yeah,
know at one point my father-in-law, that's what he did.
yeah, it
And
needs
then
to
he-
be updated and changed, absolutely.
With the camera on the Packard, that's gonna help that.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
But we'll need to amend the ordinance, right,
Yeah.
to recognize the 6-bag limit and the ordinance for the dumpsters, right? For
Right.
4 or more units.
The weight,
Okay.
are we gonna do the weight limit too? Or try to do something like
I don't know
that?
what you can do with that.
Well, maybe not so much a weight limit, but maybe like a, trash bag, maximum size trash bag. Would that maybe help with the weight?
Who's gonna
If they
wear it?
couldn't use one of them big contractor bags that, you know.
Well, here's the only problem that I had, like I said, whenever they grab a hold of them big things, they pull them out there, we pick them up, they bust out, and then they're fussing at us and it's not our fault.
Right, yeah, so.
I mean, that's the only problem.
And I got a feeling though, if we go the 6-bag limit, you're gonna find more of that because they're gonna get larger bags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the problem's gonna be.
Maybe that goes to requiring, just requiring not you all picking it up with the thingy, just requiring, residents to have trash cans that they have to put out for the trash, cause I mean, they won't be able to get that many in the darn,
You can't give
Or-
us two and just get a
Or
trash
we
can.
mandate a 13-gallon limit on the bag.
Yeah, that's what I was saying,
Yeah,
you
there
know,
you go.
make
13
it, make,
gallon.
That's a kitchen bag.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a kitchen-sized trash
well,
bag.
you know, just
Okay,
for an
kitchen size
example,
bag?
make it,
13
make,
gallons.
Well, I use 39-gallon and
I was
mine
gonna
ain't
say
ever
mine's a
full.
30-gallon. That's what
Yeah,
my
but
trash.
yeah, I
is.
use a big one,
Well,
I use a big one,
yeah.
but they're never that
But I don't
full.
Mine's
put
never
any
full.
bags though,
Yeah.
but I do use the 30-gallon, but usually 3 or 4 bags is about all we've got.
Well, I will tell you,
I have 2 bags.
I'm a one-bag girl, but of course I live alone.
No comment on that.
Not me.
I'm kidding.
I have a family of
Most people
seven,
allow that stuff.
Yeah,
and I know
I am here to tell you.
there is other people in this town that has more
Two
than
people
one,
can generate more
you know,
garbage
more than
than
one or
we
two
do.
people live in the house. And when you have kids, 13-gallon bag fills up very quickly.
yeah, especially when you got diapers.
13-gallon bag.
Yeah.
Huh?
Fill that up with diapers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just
Yeah.
said I'm a family of 7, I understand.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, is there any way that if that does happen, and especially since we're gonna have the Packard with the camera on the Packard, you'll see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any way? I mean, if that does happen, to where that maybe, I'm just talking here, that we leave it and it's the resident's responsibility?
I don't think so.
I say if it takes 2 people to lift it, we leave it. And then we pay them a visit.
well, cause Brian, he had discussed that with us at the meeting, that they had left it and then he pays them a visit.
Okay.
You know, and I guess then they got like so many days to rectify it or blah, 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 blah. You know, and of course, you know, we can even have, you know, further discussions on that, cause Scott does definitely have a point, and, you know, and he's right about that, but then there's communities and stuff that do leave it, you know, like Ashland and stuff, but, you know, you've only got a couple days to come pay, or you get additional fines, so, you know, fine, you know, well, maybe not quite 2 days, but the fines get so hefty, it's not worth you
Yeah, but if
waiting
they're not-
around.
But if they're not gonna pay their $15 trash fee, they ain't gonna pay no fine.
No, and
Possibly.
then we're stuck with that garbage sitting there.
Yeah, it's just, you know,
That goes back to, we need to make an ordinance that the landlords have to,
Responsibility.
responsibility to, it be part of their, you know, the
because
landlord pays it.
probably, honestly, from the sounds of it, it's more of our problem is really with rentals and not homeowners anyway. Okay, all right, well, then that
Yeah,
makes
that's
sense.
exactly what it is.
I think after
Okay.
a couple of times of their trash being left there and somebody have to pay them a visit, that will stop. It will, you know, they'll get the point that they're not, it's gonna happen, continuously happen if they keep putting it in these large trash bags.
Chuck-
And we can have Brian to come out and visit them.
I wonder if there's any option on the software to flag a stop. You know what I mean? Because we know when there are stops. I wonder if the user could somehow flag that as a location to investigate further. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It'll show the stop, how long it's been there, and I'll just have to look at it further. I'm still learning it.
Okay.
It's user friendly, but there's still a lot of options to look at.
Yeah, because I'm just wondering if they see an issue,
Right.
you know,
Hit
at 123 Main Street, they can hit something just to flag that.
There's no buttons at all.
Uh,
Nothing you can do with that.
Okay.
Or just have a, you know,
But if the driver speaks, it picks it up, am I correct? Speaks, talks,
Yeah, it's audio.
Yeah.
okay, then why could the driver not
Not
just
put the
make
address.
a
Yeah.
statement, you know, about
Should
waiver?
address.
and then note it. you
And
know.
then,
Yeah.
that it'll be noted on camera then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
There you
this
go.
address needs to be checked out.
Spreadsheet.
Yeah, that'll work.
Issue, you know.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right.
Need to put some teeth in.
Yeah, so I guess we can come back next time with an ordinance.
Okay.
All
Sounds
right.
good. Next is approval for mayor to discuss public safety building plans with KCEAA board, including the possibility of co-locating with the town's new annex.
Right.
Yeah, I'd like to, our board meeting's Wednesday, and I'd like to bring up the possibility to benefit the ambulance authority if we move our office building location, you know, that we would possibly accommodate their needs as well. And I'd like to bring that up to them and point out maybe some discrepancies with their plan. If I just wanted, you know, your knowledge of and permission to do so.
yeah, we
Yes.
already discussed it earlier, so.
Absolutely.
Okay, do I have a motion then to approve that?
Make a
I'll make a
motion.
motion.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilperson McGee, second Councilperson Long. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Dave, on that note,
Do
Yep.
it,
would you like to have me and Terry accompany you on that? Or you want to try it without it?
Yeah,
First.
I'll see. I may just do it by video.
Okay.
I've got this surgical thing coming up. I'm gonna be tied up, I think.
Okay, that's fine.
But anyway, I might be able to get away to do it.
Okay.
Appreciate it, so. Next is bid openings for construction. That we are postponing until we're 100% on our locations.
Okay.
We're solid on the garage, of course, but not the office building yet.
Gotcha.
Next, discussion approval of plans regarding public safety buildings. This was to permit Potesta, like I say, we need an engineering of the concrete and the drawings, soil samples, everything in prep for the plans. And I'm wondering if council would like a survey of that site, because I'm not sure we have anything official. I know we have the assessor's, plans, but would council want Potesta to do a full survey so we know the bounds of the property or not? I don't know
Are
that.
you talking about at the
At the-
transfer?
Rush Creek.
I don't see why, I mean, do we really need it, or do you think it would be a good idea? I mean,
I
to
just
be able to use more of the area, or?
I just wouldn't want to infringe on Todd Judy, You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha, okay.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. Do we have anything on the books currently laying that out?
Other than the assessor,
I don't have a
Tax
problem
map.
with it. No, I mean, this is, you start taking, tearing stuff down or moving fence or adding fence and working on that property, you wanna know where you're at and where you can't go.
I think it'd be a good idea.
I don't think it's a
Yeah,
bad thing.
okay.
Yeah,
That's bad.
if there's nothing, you know, recorded anywhere, yes, absolutely.
Compared to everything else, that cost is minor.
Minor, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You need a motion?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
I have a motion from Councilperson McGee, second Councilperson Bass. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Dave, I'll call Terry tomorrow and get that done.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, we'll just kill all birds with one stone, because they, you know, they got quite a bit there with the transfer
Yeah.
station and everything. And it might save a few bucks. Discussion regarding the sidewalk project. Met with, Sam Richardson from the Regional Investment Council. I guess, when was that?
Friday, wasn't it?
Friday?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah,
Either Thursday or
Friday at
Friday.
noon, yeah.
Yeah, you're right, you're right.
Yeah.
Because they're ready to move forward, and when I say that, they're ready to at least progress with, I guess, the funding for this, project. Project turns out to be in the neighborhood of about, 550,000 for the sidewalk from, the Go Mart location to opposite Kroger, and then up 94, to the, exit entrance ramp there, on 77.
We're gonna put sidewalk?
No,
Well-
just wait.
Um,
It gets better.
Apparently, bless you, as you might recall, last term, council funded a study, contributed
study.
$10,000 toward a $50,000 study. Highways contributed $40,000 for the study, to total 50. If we proceed with the project as stated and it's ready to go, we would have to contribute 115,000 to match highways funding. If we don't proceed, we are required to refund 40,000 to highways.
Right,
So,
And there's no getting out of that 40.
there's no getting out of 40.
no.
One good thing that came out of the meeting was this.
Yeah.
When Highway says that they're ready to proceed, that really, in their terms, means 3 to 4 years. So, no, and nothing against Highways, but that's their timeline on
So
this.
technically, we would have that many years.
3 to
pay
4
it?
years
Yes.
to come up with the match. And we could find other avenues of funding. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be all ours, 115, if we can find other sources.
And
Yeah,
that's
that-
like matching stuff too.
What's that?
Because you did like discuss like the B&O and things.
Yeah, correct.
Mhm.
Yeah, we could earmark some funds, revenues over that period to hopefully pay for this project. But I wasn't aware that we'd have to refund the 40,000, and I'm not sure anyone was. But
No,
I'd rather try for the 115 over 4 years than refund 40,000.
I'll be honest,
didn't know
I think that money would be
I didn't
better
know that
spent
either.
making better, sidewalks, in town than putting one all the way up to there. I mean, I don't know what everybody else thinks, but that's just something our
I'd
sidewalks.
rather have sidewalks in town.
I mean, you know, we might go with that. I don't know how many people really use that.
right, but I
Up
think
to-
with, well, I'm trying to like remember with the feasibility study and stuff, I think it was like to bring sidewalks to make them, you know, accessible for handicap, for people that didn't have transportation.
Right.
And at that time, there was a big push, you know, to promote also health and wellness, you know, to make sure that there was sidewalks, you know, everywhere. But yeah, I mean, I totally get your point, but I think that money was earmarked for that kind of project and not, upgrading existing sidewalks, to be honest with you, I
Well,
don't
you're gonna
think.
have better luck of someone walking through town on these sidewalks than walking to Kroger's.
Right. So, you know, and some of that, you know, like I said, it's what the money's earmarked for. And I think at that point, it was a push for that, you know, 'cause especially West Virginia has a lot of food, what they call disparities. There's a lot of communities that do not have access to grocery stores and stuff. And I think some of this money was kind of geared, even though we do have a grocery store. I mean, unfortunately, we even have counties here in this state that don't even have a grocery store, and you got to go to another county to go get food. You know, but
They have sidewalks?
well, downtown Clay does, but that's it. You know, all of Clay County, there's only one stoplight, and
Oh.
at that point, there was no grocery stores.
Okay.
But, you know, I don't know if they do now. There's from time to time, they have one, then they lose one, and da-da-da-da, but that's a long story short. But I think that money was kind of geared toward that,
So what you're saying, we can't use it anywhere else but that, right?
probably. Yeah, I mean,
probably, that's what it was originally.
yeah, I mean,
Survey
Dave
for.
can definitely check into it, but
It was for that
probably
study.
that's not
Yeah,
an
for
option,
that, yeah.
to be honest with you.
So the thing is, if we don't use it, we have to pay them 40,000, correct?
Correct.
But then if we do use it, then we gotta come up with 115.
In some manner,
Yeah,
either,
in some
either
manner.
out of our pocket, or, like I said,
Other
we could
funding
develop
sources.
other sources, which would be my suggestion.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Uh,
And at least we have time to work on it. It's nothing that we gotta come up with this year.
Yeah, I was
So-
glad to hear that.
Yeah, I was kinda relieved about that.
And we are
That'd be
50%
good,
eligible for ARC grants, and
Alright, so
there's other sources, so, and there's neighborhood grants from, you know, corporations. I mean,
Yeah.
so I would just rather do that than refund 40,000 myself.
And,
Well, I don't wanna give them no money back.
yeah,
but-
I don't wanna throw away 40,000 for nothing either.
Yeah.
I know, I would rather, I don't know, that's just me, I would rather fix the ones in town, but I mean, you know, if we
Well-
can get funding to take care of that, that's different.
Right.
I mean, I could ask for a change in scope if you know, all they can say is no. But,
Yeah.
Where they've already done the,
yeah, that engineering, see, that's the problem. That
yeah,
was
they've already
Right.
done the engineering of it.
50,000 for that engineering project, and this would be.
Right,
So I don't think that would be successful, but I
No.
could try.
yeah.
That sidewalk benefit with the new, welcome center that we're having?
Oh, it would be nice. It'll definitely improve the aesthetics up there. There's no
That's true.
question about
That's true, I
that.
didn't even think about that, but.
Yeah.
I
But-
just, thought, you know,
That
they-
is a perk to it.
Positive part.
It's a worthy project. You
Yeah.
know, when you're talking about a sidewalk for, you know, disabled and those that can't travel in that fashion. You know, my papa was in a wheelchair, my brother was in a wheelchair. It's a worthy project. The aggravation stems from not getting that at the beginning, the
Yeah,
number,
yeah.
you know?
Right,
A few of us sat here when we
Right.
couldn't pay our bills and had a spending freeze. So if it was that high of a number, going through with it would be doubtful at the time.
right.
But we didn't know that. So here we are. But as I'll go back to, it's a worthy project
It is.
because you're helping people,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
It is.
But we also have to figure it out moving forward.
Yeah, and last week was just frankly a bad week for municipalities. I mean, you know, it was good for us as individuals as far as the car tax and things of that nature, but, you know, I feel like the municipalities are under some sort of attack. You know, we're being stripped of our taxing authority in some cases,
And funding, just funding
yeah.
in general.
So, I mean, it's, you know, it's just difficult, but there are ways we just, you know, have to go with the flow and move forward. One of the solutions that I've discussed with Scott, you know, is home rule.
I'm looking-
I think
working
we
on
need
that.
to pursue that and do everything possible to put us in the position to, you know, to survive this. And
True.
so anyway, if the solution is metro government, maybe. I mean, you know, I wouldn't take anything off the table at this point. But anyway, I just wanted to make you aware of this. There's really not much to do. We can proceed. I guess maybe have a vote to either proceed or, you know, reject the plan.
Well, there's no reason to reject it right now, I mean,
Right.
Absolutely, yeah.
just, you know, hold off and see
Okay.
what we can find out.
See
you
what
know.
Can we
happens.
bring this back up in April?
What's that?
Can we bring this back up in
Yep.
April?
Yep. Put it on April
Yeah,
regular
or
meeting.
just sometime or another if you got more information or what have you.
Yeah, I'll get a hold of the actual
Okay.
concluded plan, because it's done, and get copies for all council.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Sure. Next is down to AEP power line policy, Recorder Phone Tower.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring this up. We had an incident up on 98th Street. What was it? A couple weeks ago. I can't remember exactly when it was. Oh yeah. And you know, when the tree fell, we had two guys there, and the policeman was there. You know, one of our town policemen was there.
Right.
There was a power line in that tree, and some of the residents were fussing at us because we wasn't cleaning it up. Well, Tony and Matt called me, and I told them not to touch it. I said, you know, when there's a power wire in that tree, we're not to touch it. So I called AEP 3 different times, and I talked to 3 different people, and Chief was with me on a Sunday. I come out here on a Sunday, and he was there with me, and he heard her tell me, if we would have touched that line, we was responsible for that no matter what happened if we touched it. So if it was just a tree, that's a different story. But when there's a power line in it, we're not going to touch it. I mean, it's just not worth the safety to our people for that.
No.
So I just kind of wanted to bring that up just to, you know, let y'all know what we was going through up there. But we was there when that tree fell, right after we were there.
And a lot of people knew there was a power line in it.
Yes.
A lot of them did, and if they didn't at the beginning, because some people reached out to me,
Right.
and when I found out there was a power line, that's out of our hands.
That's right.
That's up to AEP.
Yep. That's exactly right.
Yes.
So, but I just wanted to, you know, let you guys know, you know, I mean, which you probably already knew anyway, but, you know, I wanted to, you know, just to bring that up, you know, that's, you know,
Yeah,
that's,
we wouldn't want you injured.
yeah,
but
that's
then
just
we
not
wouldn't
where
want
we
any-
need to be.
Yeah, and we don't need any residents injured either.
Right. You know, and if the residents want to go, that's on them, you know, but, you know, we're not going to do that,
No.
in my opinion, you know, you guys make the calls, but.
No, you're
No,
not.
you're
my
right.
opinion.
You can't sit there all day and forcibly hold people in place, telling them you can't do this.
That's correct.
All you can do is give them the best information to
Right.
keep themselves safe and those around them safe. And if they choose to take their own free will, after that, it's on them.
Right.
But, you know, even when you deal with people, you always got to set the example.
Right.
And then it's up to them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
There's no way.
Yeah.
No way you should have to do that.
Any other discussion on that? Okay, thanks, Brian. Next, under Parks and Rec is the recreation update.
We're working on a Easter egg hunt, and I think that's on there. We'll discuss that in a minute about the, a couple things with the Easter egg hunt. I wanted to get all y'all's opinion and your okay on a couple things. But we're working on that, and we're also working on the Labor Day thing. And I've got some papers here that Terry, we kind of had a meeting. The carnival, I've reached out to this guy, and there, other than like a petting zoo or something like that, there's no other, what you say, entertainment comes in, and he did not have anything good to say about the carnival we've had. He said, in his exact words, I don't know how you've tolerated it the years you have. So, that's coming from a guy that comes out and does the inspections, and it's over the carnival rides. So, you know, but here is a list that Terry's went together. I can pass them out. Things that they'd like to get done, start doing it on Friday evening. It's just,
You got
a
copies
list.
for everybody?
Yeah, I've got copies for everybody.
Okay.
It's just things that, ideas, something to kick around. There's 3 to them.
Nothing written in blood.
I need one.
Yeah.
Pass
Yeah.
down. Sure.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I give Michael mine. Or that one.
Everybody got one down there?
Yeah.
But, that's the same thing, Debbie.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, there's a list there. We have contacted, some of these things, but we don't wanna contact and ask people for things like the petting zoo or whatever until we get approved through council.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because once you make an agreement with somebody to come, then they're expected to come. Anyway, this is something we don't have to decide on tonight.
Right.
We are gonna have a meeting this coming Wednesday night at 5:30, here at City Hall, if anybody'd like to come. I'll try to go over some more things. since we're on this, can I go on and just jump in there
Yeah,
about
sure.
the Easter egg hunt?
Sure.
The Easter egg hunt, so far I've bought about 700 eggs to give out to the kids. And we were gonna have an Easter egg hunt at 1:30 down at the ball field, in ages 5th grade and below. But we're at a dilemma. Some people want to give prizes out to all the kids, have a prize for every one of them, and go to some of the business here in town and get them to donate toys or prizes or whatever. That being said, that's hard to do and be fair to every child. But they say this is the gripe. But children, I don't know. Everybody raises their child differently, okay?
Yeah.
Or do we want to give the exact same thing? Do we want to go and buy, say, a chocolate bunny and some candy and make a little bag and give every child the same
Well,
one?
how about we just put candy in it and they go get their go get just egg hunt? That's how it always was when I was
Yeah.
a kid and Marina was a kid.
This is 2023.
I don't care.
Yeah, but your only thing you're getting some little, like maybe a Hershey Kiss and
Well,
one or
but
whatever.
to me, the whole point of it is the egg
Easter egg
hunt.
hunt. But we came up with a couple different things. One of them was, if we did do the toys, you put a number on every toy. As the children go out to hunt the eggs, every child that exits the building will get a number, tag it on them. When they come back in, whatever number is on that toy, that's what they won, according to age group. Or if we just do a bag with the very same thing in every one of them, so when the kid comes back and turns their eggs in, then they get that
That'd probably be
particular thing. So it's up to you all, because like I said, I've got mixed on my group. And I don't want to get in the middle of it, so I said, let me ask council, whatever they choose, that's the way we'll go with it.
It's probably I know.
Some
I know
people's
last
gripe is, well, all kids need to learn, life's not fair, and you get what you get. I understand that.
But I know
then
the issues
again,
last year.
Yeah, but there was one,
Oh, I know.
one
It was just
person.
one person.
One
I know who.
person.
I know who it
Yeah.
was.
But that's the only thing, we had the one person gripe that, and in all honesty though, even if we do it this way with the bag of candy, you're gonna get people say, was that all they got?
Well,
That's
yes.
just, we're gonna get, no matter what we do.
I tell you
That's
what,
it.
my thought, I would provide, from the town perspective, I would provide something like that than to say, you're not gonna get it. At least you got something.
Yeah.
At least we're providing something instead of saying, okay,
Yeah.
you're gonna get, okay, well, you're not.
No,
That way-
everyone would
No,
still
no,
get,
somebody there-
everyone would still
everybody still
get.
get.
It just might
It's
be
just
different
if,
stuff.
if the businesses in town donated toys and stuff,
Right.
everybody's not gonna get the same toy. Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
And so it's to me, and it don't matter to me, whichever, but we do need to know tonight which way to go, because this one person's already asked a couple of businesses and they said they would give, and I told her just hold up on that till we find out.
I say you just if you're getting toys, that just gets into just buy everybody a chocolate bunny or just some candy and put it in a bag. To me it's.
But it doesn't matter to me,
That's
whichever y'all
that's
decide.
me.
Yeah.
Huh? That's complicated.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that way we're not asking businesses either, really.
And then too, the only concern is, we're thankful for the donations, but what about we end up with not enough?
Well,
you end
I
up
was
with-
gonna take up the slack. We were counting on X amount of kids, and I know we won't go over that amount, but I would make sure we had enough
Yeah.
toys for that amount of kids.
I think
Are you going toys or are you going with the
Well,
candy?
that's what I'm saying, if we went with the toys. But even if we don't go with the toys, if we can go with candy, I will still have that amount to give away for the kids, okay? So every kid that comes and participates, every kid will leave with something, either whether we go with candy or if we go with the toy.
Well, yeah, but if you do that with the most eggs, they'll be knocking them little ones
No,
down.
you can't really do it with the most eggs. If you do it with the most eggs, that's it. Even though we do in age groups, you still have those aggressive children that would just,
Oh, yeah.
just,
I remember the
and
days,
somebody
man.
get hurt. But we do want them to turn the eggs in, because those eggs are not cheap. I was out down Pigeon Forge ordering them online and going to the store picking them up, it's the only way I could get enough. So,
Wow.
so
Well,
I
could you maybe put, how many age groups are you having?
well, we would decide that we're gonna have like toddlers, and then I guess from certain age to certain, and have at least 3 different.
Well, you
from
could
people
have, you
they
could
have.
have like an egg with something in it on each egg group and have a prize for whoever finds that egg. Plus the bags with,
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Is that what y'all
Well, to
like
me,
to
that
do?
gets really complicated.
why does it get really complicated? You find an egg with something in it, then you get a special prize.
And that gets complicated, and that's where the whole, I mean, whatever y'all wanna do, to me, it just,
If you're gonna do a prize like that, you should give out tickets at the door, and then on the other half of the ticket, like we do at the dance, you put that ticket in a bowl and draw a ticket at the very end. That's how Valley done theirs last year, and they gave
That
out,
makes sense.
they gave out bikes and other little toys, and that's how they
I
drew
don't
the
know, I just
prizes.
think give them candy.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
think
me.
maybe
But I just
this
think
year to
candy would
start
be
out
easier.
with, since last year we did it and everything went well, except one woman complained. And,
Right.
Well, she's gonna complain again this year too, because
Well,
you didn't give
I
enough
didn't
candy in that
invite
bag.
her. We
You didn't get
invited
enough candy
Chesapeake
in that
School last
bag.
year, but we didn't this year,
But
okay?
you won't have enough candy
Well,
in that bag.
I mean, the way I
Yeah,
look
that's
at it, there's some communities that, can't afford or don't do anything like this
Anything.
for the kids.
So, and
At least we do something.
last year, there was not one parent, everybody seemed to have a good time and thanked us, like I said, except one parent got on Facebook and kinda didn't agree with it. And we apologized and offered,
Then
to
don't
make
bring
it
your
better.
kid.
And, so this year, we just sent out, we're gonna send it out to our school here, to Marmot Elementary. Now, we will get kids from other communities. You
Sure.
can't stop that.
No.
If we don't send it out to all schools, then maybe we're not getting all the schools. But we will send it out to Marmots.
Yeah.
So it's just go with the bag candy,
I think it's
I'm-
fine. It's a
I'm
little
good
kid
with
that
that.
age. I think it'll
and
work.
Yeah,
then next year, if we wanna do something, we'll have more time to work on it.
Yeah.
Okay?
that's fine.
Okay. We'll go that route then.
Okay. Next is a discussion regarding Bill Wells Park rentals. And this kind of goes with the next one as well, the purchase of porta potties. I think we're gonna have an opportunity to really fix the park, up really nice and permanently, but I don't wanna get caught like we did last year without any type of facilities, and
Correct.
we can always use those porta potties if we were to purchase a couple like we looked at last time.
Yeah,
We can always move those later if we build something permanent. I
right.
just don't wanna be caught, like I say again, and not be able to rent those shelters.
Yeah, and it'll be a little hard to rent with no bathroom.
Yeah, it's really not appropriate, so,
Right.
so if we could purchase 2 of the porta potties, that would be, well, like we looked, they're about 1,000 apiece. Shipping was a problem last time, if you recall.
water?
I got it, thank you.
But we do the best we can on shipping and may find a couple close enough even to pick up, but in Ohio or Pennsylvania,
Is that maybe on a state contract kind of thing?
possibly.
I just.
I looked, but I couldn't find anything, but you would think
Gotcha.
they would be, like for,
Yeah,
Yeah, you would think.
schools and such. But but I'll check and see.
Okay.
But anyway, if we could put a budget on that, I think we need to get those as soon as we can because, well, today, I think it's the first day of spring, right? So,
yesterday was,
yesterday. So,
yeah, we need to
It
get
just
moving.
don't feel like it yet,
Right.
but yeah, it's here.
so maybe a budget of 2,500, that should hopefully cover
Okay.
if everybody will be in agreement.
Did we put a budget on the Easter egg hunt?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think we did we?
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
I didn't think so.
Okay, well, we'll finish up the porta potties and then go back.
Okay.
Is 2,500 good enough?
I think.
Yeah,
I think so.
Okay, then do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion from Councilperson Long. Do I have a second?
I second.
Second, Councilperson Skeen. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. I'll try to find that, Brian. We may have to drive 100 miles to get them, but that would save a bunch of shipping for sure.
Get you away from that crew.
Okay, and like I say, we can then, I'd like for Bill, or is it Lisa?
Yes.
To work on a schedule. I mean, if we can, I haven't heard anything about the $15,000 grant, but if we can fix up those shelters, we need to put together a schedule, to rent them for a little bit more if possible, Backing up then to the Easter egg hunt, what type of budget, anyone like to establish for that?
What do you think?
Only thing we need is some candy, which to me is, I could probably go to Sam's or somewhere and get it and keep it probably within a couple $100.
So,
500.
$500 would be way,
If-
yeah, more
500?
than enough, so.
okay.
Okay, do I have a motion then for
I'll make a
500?
motion,
for-
500.
Is that a motion, Michael?
Yes, sir.
Okay, have a motion, do I have a second?
I think,
Second, from Councilperson Skeens, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Yeah, and if you're definitely under, that don't hurt either.
no, no.
Oh, no.
Labor Day update, Recorder Phone Tower.
What are we gonna do about the carnival? I'm still,
That's the reason I passed these out, you know, if y'all wanna take a look at it, and we're having a meeting Wednesday night at 5:30, discuss more,
the
anybody
chili
like to come
cook-off,
out?
the chili cook-off, we're gonna move on down the, like, late September.
Okay, whatever. But anyway, if you wanna bring that back on April, give us more time to think about it
What, but
for the carnival.
it's whatever you want. I think it's gonna be, even if it's wrong, I think we're gonna need one. I mean,
I
I know he's horrible. I know that.
I spoke
just-
with Gamble, and of course, they're booked up all Labor
Yep.
Day. They're free after Labor Day,
Mm-hmm.
and they'd be willing to come if we did some sort of fall festival, something like that. Now, we've all had our issues with Myers. We've had people complain about it for years and things like that. I don't know. I hate to sacrifice quality just to say you had something.
That's true. That's very
Um,
true.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, this list here's a lot of good stuff. You could have stuff like this if you want to bring in, if you couldn't get a carnival, if you want to bring in some inflatables, you know, for the kids.
You
Yeah,
got a lot
I
of
think
good
that was on
ideas.
there.
You could do stuff like that and then come back if you want to do your chili thing in the fall with an amusement deal. And then there you go. You could do something like that as a makeup for, you can't have something Labor Day because you can't get it.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people say, well, it's a tradition, we've always had that carnival on
Yeah.
Labor Day, but no, we haven't.
No.
Uh-uh, no.
No.
Really?
Years ago, the carnival came with the fire department in May.
Yep.
We
Sure
did it
did.
for years and years.
Well, maybe we
Years.
should
I
need
was-
to need to
So,
do that. I
but Young
mean,
Gambles
Yeah,
told me
when I
they
was
could
a
come to
kid, it
different
was
dates,
actually
but
in
just
May.
not Labor Day.
I
And
think
that's
a lot of this
problem.
stuff you have, like the petting zoo, and so I think that would,
When
well,
I was in
would be down
elementary,
there paying to go.
when I was in elementary school, there was no carnival down there.
There was what?
There was no carnival.
Not for
I
Labor
remember
Day.
for Labor Day going in there and throwing a football through a tire swing for a 12-pack of pop. You know?
That's kind of what we'd like to get back to.
Sure, and they give you
Something to
the,
get the kids
the
involved.
Wendy's tickets for like Frosties, free Frosties, stuff like that. That was what was going on down there.
And I even kind of like the idea that we have multiple things going on, because if, you know, you're out of town for Labor Day, well, hey, maybe you can come back for the fall festival, or,
And the watermelon eating contest, I remember those when I was a kid. I mean, I love that. I think that'd be fun.
But anyway, we're meeting Wednesday night at
Okay.
5:30 here. If
Yeah.
anybody would like to come, we'd really like, to get more people involved in this.
yeah. And it would be
Yeah,
nice
maybe-
to
I
have
mean,
also public
It just, I
input.
had it stuck in my head. We gotta, Francis, I just had it stuck in my head. Carnival, and,
Well, like I
you're
said,
right.
and then if y'all don't mind, we'll take a vote on it next,
Yes.
council.
Okay.
Whether
Say
have it
5:30 Wednesday.
5:30
But,
Wednesday.
yeah, you're right. I mean, I just got it in my head.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, that sounds good. Any other discussion? Okay. Next, personnel, we have a request from code enforcement officer to take the town vehicle home. I was asked to
Did he
put this
say?
on there.
Yeah, he left.
I was asked to put this on here by Brian, so any discussion? Well, I'm just gonna say, I'm really not for this. I mean, we
Right.
don't have commute type vehicles. I understand it would be convenient, but the only way I'd even really consider this is if he was on a 24-hour call, you know, but
Yeah, that would be different if he's on 24-hour call.
We
but
got
he's not.
people live in Boone County, we got people live in Shrewsbury.
Or
we
St.
got-
Albans.
Tracy lives in St. Albans. No, No, we can't, no.
Well, and it's putting the extra mileage on the truck. you
Well,
know, even though-
wear and tear.
Yeah, it is. It's wear and tear. It's more gas.
Brian, do you get to take the truck home?
That's different.
Yeah, but that's different.
Well, and that's why,
Oh, yeah.
Like you
yeah,
said, 24 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Wait,
of course,
what?
you're also a department head too. That's a little
Sure.
different.
I mean, I don't really look at it that way.
Yeah, but where you're on call 24/7.
and I don't think Brian realized, I mean, if that were the case, it's also, we have to report that to IRS. It's a taxable, process and for commuting, and it's just really not worth it. So, anyway, if anyone though.
Yeah, it's
feels
a fringe
differently, please
benefit.
speak up.
No.
No.
Okay. Next item then is a resolution, adding a policy to employee handbook stating no tobacco use while on town property, in town vehicles, or when dealing with the public, tobacco including cigarettes, vaping, chewing tobacco, or snuff. Recorder Fontaine.
I want to amend it so that there's a definition of what tobacco products are. What I have in here is added into where it already was. Already in the handbook, it says there is no smoking in town of Marmet buildings, vehicles, while performing your duties as an employee. And then I want to add, for the purposes of this policy, the following definition shall apply. 1, smoke and smoking means inhaling, exhaling, burning, or carrying any cigarette, cigar, electronic or non-electronic smoking device, pipe, hookah,
Yep.
or other product or substance, or any other smoking of tobacco, nicotine, plant, substance, while, whether, in any form, then tobacco, meaning that any product that contains tobacco or nicotine that is intended or expected to be introduced into the human body, including cigarettes, cigars, pipes, smokeless tobacco, and tobacco-free is, any tobacco-free means that smoking of tobacco, nicotine, or tobacco-like products, plants, or substances, while natural, synthetic, in any manner. That way there is no doubt exactly what it all, that means,
Covers it
snuff
all.
or anything else. On their breaks and stuff like that, that's obviously different. But, but when you're dealing with public and in City Hall, especially in city buildings,
In vehicles and.
yeah. So, what do y'all think?
Yeah, absolutely. 'Cause, no, offense to smokers or anything, but I mean, but like if you smoke in a vehicle or something, you can't remove it.
Well, we already have the smoking of cigarettes one.
Right, but I
But-
mean like vaping or, anything else. And then of course it's just not a good look, but if, but like with cops, you guys don't keep the same vehicle, you share them, right? Yeah, so I mean, and that's why, they even stopped at like in apartment buildings and stuff because it gets in the ventilation system, it gets everywhere, and somebody down the hall might be a smoker, but yet the, 3 or 4 apartments down can still get cigarette smoke from ventilation, especially if they got allergies or things, or if you happen to get in the car and you're allergic, it can affect you.
Do we have to read that resolution?
I think I just did.
Okay.
Any other discussion?
No, I make a motion, we, pass that
Yeah, I agree with
resolution.
it.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilperson Skeens. Do I have a second then?
Second.
Second, Councilperson McGee. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, that's it for the regular agenda. Any good and welfare of council?
I went to the family care opening and it was really nice. I did get to meet with some of the executives with family care and the office staff and the doctor. And of course, they are accepting patients. They are seeing children and adults. And right now, where they're not really super busy, they can even do walk-ins and they're also doing lab work there. So it was, a really nice event and just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of them.
Okay, I just had one thing. for consideration for our next agenda, about a donation for, cat spay and neutering to the shelter. We may wanna consider something.
Working on something.
Uh-huh.
I was telling Ronnie to try something.
Yeah, so think about that, maybe we can contribute that and have them up to at least,
Well, and you got some people here in town that's trapping them
right.
and taking them and having them spayed.
Yeah,
stuff,
and
too.
there's supposed to be some grants coming available too, and I know, you know,
Yeah.
a couple individuals that, you know, expressed interest in.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we need to check on the prisoners, see if they're even available. Have you
Oh,
heard
yeah.
anything? Nothing?
Okay.
I think that's all I have.
Oh,
Anybody
but
else?
look, you kept-
Wasn't that didn't we talk about the prisoners about, they're from Mount Olive, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it, they was short-staffed or something and
Yeah.
they didn't have a way to bring them down?
True. Now, I don't know if we could
That's
even
probably
do
gonna be
that.
the same.
Yeah, I think the code enforcement officer checked on it and
Yeah.
they told him that they were short-staffed, didn't have a CO to bring them down.
Yeah, and they won't, they won't let us pick them up, for sure.
Oh, no.
Would you
I don't
want
know
to?
why he even said that.
What did he say?
He said they won't let us pick them up. I said, would you
But
want
we
to?
could,
I could guard them.
but we could probably check with workforce.
Late night.
I got enough
The work
bullets.
release center.
We probably, yeah, never mind.
Yeah, I don't have, none on
I'm,
YouTube.
Okay.
I'm not seeing
I make a
anything.
motion we adjourn.
Well, any good welfare out here? Okay, so I have a motion to adjourn, second? We are adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Thank y'all.
Now you're gonna address the